Well, hello everybody. So here's the situation. I went to the 99-cent store again, the same 99-cent store that I covered in a previous video a couple of months ago. And I was just gonna walk in, check out what they had. I did not bring bags, big mistake. So I'm gonna talk first about my fail. If you're gonna go into the 99-cent store, make sure you have bags because you will spend money. This is what I'm realizing. Anyway, I went strolling, I wandered into the 99-cent store since it's by my house. I now live close to it. And I just said, hello, Mila. And I decided, there she is, the broke Aristocrats cat. She loves our bags. Anyway, so I went not expecting to find anything particularly important at the 99-cent store. Do you know what I found at the 99-cent store? And my total cost was $17.90. I'll show you the bill. Gardening stuff. And I had been looking around. I had gone to Target and I needed flower pots for the plants that I had bought. Some of these flower pots are like 20 bucks. I'm not gonna spend 20 bucks to stick plants in a pot. They were 99 cents. So I'm transferring also my herbs to the garden because they're growing bigger. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna show you everything I got and I'll show you a breakdown of the price. I'm not thrilled about the fact that I ended up bringing plastic bags home, but they will be recycled because Mila uses them. Yes, when we clean her litter box, which we do about once or twice a day, we have to put that stuff in a bag. If anybody has a better solution, please let me know. I don't have a garden or how to dispose of kitty litter. If you are trying to reduce plastic in your home, I'd love to find out how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you everything I got and what the price breakdown was. Okay, hello Mila. This is the 3 bags worth of stuff that I got, and it was quite extensive. I want to first show you these pots. Aren't these pretty? 99 cents. So we are going to be using those, and I'm excited about this. Look at this. Look at this for our little front garden. A little tiny mushroom. I know it's kind of hokey, but my mother used to have this sort of thing, and I really, really like it. And so I got two of these. That is just too cute. I got a gardening rake for me to work out in the front yard, because again, I'm going to be transferring. I'm getting a small herb garden, which I've mentioned. My little watering device. Here is the bill, by the way. That's going to be interesting to take a look at. $17.70 for everything. And again, Target, I would have spent like $40–50 at least. Look at this. Is this not the cutest thing? I'm going to put this in the herb garden. Love blooms here, and it certainly does. So I just thought that was absolutely adorable, and I just love it. Okay, so I know it's a little silly, but look, if it makes you happy. This is gardening soil, 99 cents for gardening soil because the soil is terrible here, so I'm not going to take it out, but basically this is a 99-cent gardening soil. I might go back and grab some more when I have my cart. I didn't have my cart, so I had to carry this stuff all the way home, which was not fun. So we've got some green and pink. Isn't that pretty? And this is another thing I'm not thrilled about, but I have been making these big meals and I've got to store it in something. I did decide to buy a couple plastic containers. I would obviously prefer glass, and I have found glass at the 99-cent store. Unfortunately, this time they did not have glass. I'm trying to keep close to my budget, so I did break down and buy some plastic. Hopefully I'll be able to use it for a long time. The secret to keeping plastic for longer is to never cook in the plastic, which can damage the plastic, and to just use it for freezing, etc. Please reuse, please, if you're going to bring plastic into the home. And I think that's just about it. Oh, and this is my favorite. And I got a little bit of a story to tell about this. I've got a gnome. Yes, my fellow broke aristocrats. Dr. Whimsy has arrived. She has a little tiny garden patch, and she's going to have a gnome, and the gnome is going to have a mushroom. So what is the story about gnomes? So here's the story about gnomes. I grew up in Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington. And I believe it was in Seattle, Washington, where there were gnomes that went missing from people's gardens. I believe it was, I was living near the University of Washington, and there were beautiful homes that had gnomes, and the garden gnomes went missing. People's garden gnomes just started to disappear, and in the place of the garden gnomes was a message, and the message was, "We have liberated your garden gnomes. We are the Gnome Liberation Front." This is a true story. So people, senior citizens, etc., were very, very upset. They wanted their gnomes back. Where are our gnomes? The camera crews showed up. A police report was taken. Who is taking the gnomes of the University of Washington? But the story doesn't end there, my fellow broke aristocrats. Said persons, the Liberation Front, the Gnome Liberation Front, began to send letters to those people whose gnomes had been stolen, with photographs inside those letters showing the gnomes partying gnomes all over the world. So they took those gnomes, they took their gnomes to Paris, to London, to Barcelona, to all over Europe, etc. For months and months and months. Said persons began to travel all over the world and took pictures of the gnomes in these places all over the world, saying your gnome's been liberated, your gnome is traveling the world, your gnome is having a wonderful time. Well, the story was very bizarre, and 6 months later, the gnomes were all returned to the people who had lost their gnomes. And a message was left with the gnome, and the message said, "Despite our efforts to liberate your gnome prefers his life as a serf and has requested to be returned home to your garden." And so after 6 months of traveling with these gnomes and taking pictures of these gnomes all over the world, the gnomes were returned to their rightful owners. And that is the crazy story of going to college. I was pre-med at University of Washington during the time when some of the students went around, stole garden gnomes, and then probably spent a summer in Europe and played a silly, silly prank with the people of the University of Washington who had garden gnomes. The good news is everybody got their gnomes back and everybody had a good laugh. So I always think about that story when I look at gnomes, and I always smile and laugh and say, what a silly group of people I went to college with. Anyway, so my garden gnome hopefully will not be kidnapped. And he will be protecting my new herb garden in the front. But I was happy to see that I was able to add some beautiful things to my garden, to my herb garden, and to be able to put potting soil, because the soil isn't very good, in that area for only $17.99. I think that this is definitely a frugal win. So if you do some gardening, be sure and check out your local 99-cent store and find out if they have similar deals on gardening. All right, so this, hello, I really like him. This ends this quick video of Broke Aristocrats and my great win at the 99-cent store on gardening materials. Be sure and share. I hear they sometimes have seeds also, which I'm really excited about. Be sure and share, like, subscribe. Tell me what you're doing to take care of yourself. Hello, Mila. She always has to do that without breaking the bank. You know me, Mila, and I love hearing from everybody. She wants to be known. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.